All right, everybody. Today we have a guy on the show that just defines what UCLA football has been for the past couple of years. Transferred to SMU, but he's ready for the draft now. We have TJ Harden, everybody. Welcome.
What's good? How you doing?
So
Glad
tell
to
me,
be
like,
here.
what right now? What's a typical day look like as you're preparing for the draft?
Yeah, man. So yeah, obviously, preparing for the draft and everything. I'm staying in Texas, in Dallas still. Drive out to Fort Worth every day to go train. I usually start early in the morning, depending on the day. Could be an 8 a.m. day, could be a 10 a.m. day. I usually stay there. We usually have lift like later in the day, so I'll stay till then, do recovery and everything like that. In the morning we'll usually have speed work or position work and everything. And then later we'll have a lift. So that's just what my everyday life look like right now.
Yeah. What was your first like memory of playing football? Like, when did you start playing football?
I started playing football when I was around like 6 years old. Yeah, my mom just wanted to give me something to do and everything because my godbrothers were playing. And yeah, I just fell in love with it instantly. I mean, I used to watch football before then, and I used to play Madden a lot before I started playing football. So yeah, I just fell in love with the game instantly as soon as I touched the field.
Was that kind of a surreal experience then when you're picking up, the college football game that came out a couple of years ago and you see
Yeah, man.
yourself on the roster?
Yeah. It was crazy because I used to play NCAA 14, like back when NCAA got discontinued. But the first year of it relaunching, me being actually in a trailer was really cool experience and being in the game and everything. So
Yeah. What was the first football jersey you had growing up?
what do you mean, like NFL player or
Yeah, first like one you got as a gift or some player that you
ooh,
admired growing up.
really did I get? I don't really know if I really got any jerseys when I was younger. I mean players that I admire though, I've the reason why I wear 27, well that's like the original like the number I would usually wear. I wear it this year at SMU, but I'll watch Eddie George like back in the day. Like, well, I'll watch obviously not back in the day, but like I'll watch his highlights when I was little of him back in the day
Yeah,
and everything. I just liked his running style. He was a bigger back and everything, and he's brought something different to the game as a running back.
for sure. And then you grew up in the LA area playing high school football in Inglewood. How
Yep,
much did
yep.
that culture kind of shape you as a player?
Yeah, man, it was great to be in LA. Like that's home. That's where I grew up at, where my family's from and everything, and it meant a lot to to stay in LA as long as possible. And through elementary, middle school, high school, even in college for 3 years, it was just a blessing to be in home for as long as possible.
Yeah, and then when you look back on your UCLA years, what stands out to you the most?
Just about UCLA in general, or just
Hmm.
yeah, I mean UCLA was obviously a great spot for me. Like when coming out of high school and everything. Got my degree there. That was great for sure. Number one public university. And I just cherish like being at home, like just being in the city, representing the city. Knew a lot of people that would come out to the games from the city and everything. That was just a cool experience all around.
Yeah. And then one moment that stood out in your UCLA career was the USC game in 23, one hundred
Yep.
42 yards. Is there anything in
Yeah.
particular you remember about that game?
I just remember going into that game just like, that was my first year actually playing a lot. So like that was my actual first year of me about to like knowing I was about to play in the rivalry game. Growing up, that was like a big rivalry in the city and everything. So I just knew I had to, me being from the city, I had to do what was best and like just, have a great game. And yeah, it was just a great experience to be out there and just enjoying that moment.
Yeah. Speaking of playing a lot, you were playing with Carson Steele and Keegan Jones a lot.
Yep.
How do you balance kind of competing for carries while still, supporting each other as a running back group? Because that was a great running back group. I mean,
Yeah,
Carson
yeah,
made
yeah.
the NFL, the Chiefs. Like, how do you
Yeah.
kind of be that three-headed monster and still, support each other?
Oh yeah, Carson and Keegan, those are definitely both my guys. I mean, yeah, those both my guys for sure. But yeah, I mean, like it was a friendly competition here and there, like spring ball and fall camp and all that. But we all knew we was gonna share the carries and everything. So I mean, those really my dogs. So we didn't really like bump heads ever. We just got work done on the
Yeah.
field and everything.
And then you spent several years with Coach Foster, first as your running backs coach, then as your head coach. What
Yeah,
are some things that he taught you as a running back about playing the position that still stick with you today?
I mean, he's been there. So I mean, from him being there, experiencing that and everything, just being in the league and everything, I just learned a lot of like specific running back things that he learned over his time at playing. So I mean, he taught me a lot of different things.
Yeah. And then UCLA has quietly sent like a couple of different running backs to the league recently. You got Zach Charbonnet, Carson Steele, Britton
Yeah,
Brown, Josh Kelly, Demetric Felton. Like, is there anything that you've learned from watching those guys in the way that they've handled themselves? Because they were, in your position a couple of
for
years ago,
sure,
even.
for sure. Yeah, Zach, man. I mean, I didn't get to play with Britton or Felt or anything, but or even Josh Kelly, but I met them all. But when I first got there, Zach was, he was like the head honcho of the room and everything. He was like the leader, but yeah, he taught me a lot. I mean, he was a guy that would just like lead by example. He'll show up every day himself. Like, Zach gonna be Zach every day. He's a hard worker. He's quiet. He don't really talk about what he does. Like, he just about his business. So, I mean, playing like being under his wing and everything was a great experience. And just seeing him take that next step to the league is great as well. Me playing with Carson, that was like my boy. So like we both shared carries and everything. And I mean, he was real competitive too. Like even in the off season, like he would lift so many plates. I didn't even know any more plates could fit on the bar. Where he would lift sometimes. But yeah, just being in the room with him was great as well.
I know. I was surprised he even wanted to make converted to fullback, but then you look at him and dude's jacked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is there an NFL back right now that you like try to model your game after, or just kind of look and watch film of?
I don't know who I'll say I'll model my game after, but there's a lot of guys that's currently in the league that I for sure watch all the time. I mean, I watch Saquon a lot, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey. Really, any running back that's doing good, I've been like, keep my eyes on them and everything. Gibbs has been popping out recently. I've watched him as well.
Yeah. For your first fan question, what is one thing you always remember or cherish about your time at UCLA, whether it's a moment, a place around campus, or a friendship?
I mean, I met a lot of guys, man. The list goes on and on and on. But I mean, my guy I was closest with, one of my two guys I was really close with was J. Michael Sturdivant, and obviously Justin Martin. We went to high school together and everything.
Yeah.
Those are my two guys. I'll cherish those friendships forever. And probably a restaurant around there. I'll definitely say I know it's simple, but they closed it down. It's not there no more. The BJ's over there was just so many memories. Like the uh the BJ's I was over there in Westwood was just so many memories, man. I was sick when they tore it down. And yeah, they should have kept it over there, but yeah, I used to rock with it over there.
Pizza there is bomb.
Yeah.
In 2024, you caught 40 passes,
Mhm.
which showed another side of your game. Was that something that kind of just came about naturally when you were having those conversations in the running back room, or was that just kind of the next step you wanted to take in your game as a running back?
I mean, I'll kind of say both. I mean, I always knew I could like catch the ball at the backfield and make people miss down the field and everything. But a lot of those catches just came like naturally. Like if the quarterback had to like abandon a read, he'll find me in the backfield. Or, like we'll run like a lot of screens back then, and it just helped me, build those 40 catches and everything. But
Yeah.
I mean, every time I touch the ball, like from a catch from the backfield, I'll just try to make the most of it and try to, impose my will in the pass game as well.
Yeah, and the NFL today asks a lot of running backs, whether that be catching the ball, pass protection,
Yeah,
understanding blitz looks. Well,
yeah,
defenses are getting more versatile and everything as well.
for
How do you
sure.
see your skill set sort of fitting into that modern NFL landscape where you want to do like a little bit of everything as a running back?
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, yeah, it's definitely important to, do everything nowadays as a running back in the NFL. The thing I probably cherish the most is pass protection for sure. I mean, if you can't block, you can't get the rock. So definitely that. And like you said, in 2024, I've shown that I can catch the ball. I feel like I showed speed on my tape. Like I just try to do everything, and I feel like that's good in today's game.
Yeah. And then how tough was that decision to leave UCLA and head to SMU?
I just had to do what was best for me, man. Like I said, I'm a hometown kid and everything. I
Yeah.
got my degree from there, but I had to really do, um, what God told me to do, man. And I feel like I just needed a new opportunity. I took that opportunity.
Yeah. Take that opportunity. You
Yeah, for
land at
sure.
SMU, you get 9 rushing touchdowns. What do you feel like clicked? Because you feel like you kind of instantly just stepped in, just bam, end zone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, SMU was cool, man. Down here in Dallas, I never before before coming to SMU, I never been to Texas in general. Well, I guess besides my freshman year, we went to the Sun Bowl, but I don't count that. That's far, El Paso. But um, yeah, man. I mean, I just got down here. The coaches are cool and everything. Just the whole program over here at SMU, really family oriented. I loved it instantly, and I feel like that helped me, like,
Yeah.
play really better. Yeah.
And then another fan question: what were some of your favorite highlights from your time playing at SMU?
At SMU,
Yeah,
definitely earlier. I mean, not earlier in the season. Like later in the season, we played Miami. We beat them. We upset them at home stadium, and that was my first time I've ever been. And I scored like the game-winning touchdown, and it was crazy because it was like overtime, and then, like as soon as I scored, like everybody just stormed the field. Like it was crazy. I'd never been a part of a field
yeah,
storm like that ever. Um, another moment, another moment. I mean, we didn't pull this win off, but I had a good like breakout game this season against Baylor. I had like 3 touchdowns. That was just a good game to like make a name for myself out here in Texas and
for
everything
sure.
for sure, for sure. And
Yeah,
then my senior night we played. Well, senior day we played Louisville, and we had a really great game against them offensively. We just got it rolling early, so I'll say that as well.
yeah. Another fan question:
Okay.
what was it like joining a team that was already surging and building momentum?
At SMU. Yeah, I mean it was cool. I seen what SMU have done like the previous year when they went to the playoffs and played Penn State and everything. And I mean like before that, I didn't know too much about SMU, and I mean like I watched them all that year. It's actually crazy because it was like be random times like I had free time and I'll turn on like a game on Saturday and it'll be SMU like. And it's just crazy that I end up transferring there. But like every time I
Yeah,
watched them, they just was dominant on offense. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, and then me entering the portal and them like being on me and talking to me and everything it was a crazy full circle moment. I mean, great team and everything. So
yeah. I was even watching a little bit of SMU football this year, and felt like you and Kevin Jennings had a real connection.
that's my dog.
How much does it help you having a dual threat quarterback as a running back? Find open lanes,
Yeah.
or even maybe pass block for him as he goes and runs it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely cool playing with my guy Kev. Yeah, man, he's great. But yeah, it'll definitely be times like I know once, even if I don't have a route, it's like if I see Kevin scrambling, I gotta start running down the field. Like he's more than likely going to pass you the ball like at random, like down the field. You just gotta always be ready with him. But yeah, he was a great dude, great quarterback, and I know he will he'll transition to the league next year and do a great job at that.
Yeah. Who's one teammate from UCLA and who's one teammate from SMU that you're gonna miss playing with?
Ah, that's a hard question. There's one,
Yeah,
there's
just one.
one. Sheesh, man. I'm obviously gonna leave somebody out. Geez, man, the list goes on. I mean, I was at UCLA for 3 years, so there's so many guys that like came through and left and everything. It's hard to just say one at UCLA for sure, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to name a couple, man. But being with Dante, he was cool. That was my dog, Dante Moore. That's my dog. J. Mike, obviously. Even when Justin got in the game, Justin Martin, that's my guy. All my linemen that came through there, it was real cool, man. It was fun playing with them. Really, man, I can't lie, everybody, just about honestly. There was so many cool teammates I had down at UCLA, but yeah, SMU, I could really say the same. Like I was only here for 6 months, but I made a lot of like, bonds that, carry on for a long time. So I don't know. I could just say one, honestly.
Yeah. And it feels like from talking with you about this kind of stuff, like you kind of really like the culture of both places. Was that kind of a
Mhm.
deciding factor in going to SMU? Was like you went there and you kind of just felt really welcomed?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I mean, even on my visit, when I stepped foot on campus, like I just felt really welcome. Everybody just seemed cool, man. Like, they was about what everything they said they were. Like, and I felt that vibe when I got there on campus. So, yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to our next fan question. What was the biggest difference playing running back in Chip Kelly's offense, then under Deshaun Foster, then later in SMU's system?
Um, Earlier with Coach Kelly, I mean, it was hard for me to get used to. I mean, well, my freshman year and everything, like all the signals and everything and all like the tempo. We ran a pretty like fast tempo offense. But I mean, my sophomore year, I kind of got acclimated with it. I had a really great year my sophomore year. And transitioning when Coach Bienemy was my offensive coordinator in 2024, it was different. Pro style offense was kind of slower, like as far as like, we'll get in the huddle and like, really like call a whole play and everything. So I mean, that was cool as far as like, total on the body. Like we wouldn't really be like going tempo a lot really. But I mean, it was pretty complicated to learn that offense as well. Because he had just came from the NFL and everything. But he was getting me as a great coach and everything. And then transferring to SMU, it was pretty cool, man. It reminded me of my sophomore year, I'll say, running with Coach Kelly and everything. And I feel like, he's made it simple and easy for us. So
A running back, that's one of those positions where you kind of have to keep your confidence up no matter what happens. You get a
Facts.
tackle for a
Next
loss
play.
one play. You
Next
gotta
play
go break off a
mentality.
big run. How do you kinda train yourself mentally to think, kind of just, like, forget the next play, move on, while also kinda staying humble after you break, a big 30-yard run?
Yeah, man. I mean, running back, anybody that play running back knows like every carry is not going to be a big carry. Like if you get 25, 30 carries a game, a good amount of those are going to be really short runs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless it just opens up like that continuously, but that's pretty rare. But I mean, you just gotta stay calm. Cause I mean, if you just out there and you get frustrated, then it's gonna take a toll on your mental. You know what I'm saying? So you got to stay calm and just next play mentality, no matter what happens. And I mean, we get a big run and everything. Like, you don't gotta be like completely humble. I mean, you can like hype yourself up. Like I just hype myself up in my head a little bit. Like, okay, like I just did that, but it's still on to the next. Like, it's sometimes like a lot of
Exactly,
game
yeah.
left or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Then before the snap, like, what are you typically looking for in the defense? Like, are you reading linebackers? You reading the defensive linemen? Or you kind of just filling out your spacing?
it depends. I mean, if it's a pass play and I'm like, if we're in like a 6-man protection or seven or any protection where I'm involved, I'll definitely for sure look at the D lineman, linebacker, just everybody. Cause like, there's defenses can blitz any type of way. I mean, and there's different ways that it could give like cues that they're doing that. So I mean, yeah, I'll say that. Honestly, I'll say even run plays too. Like I'll just look all around, see what's going on, get a great vision of what the defense is doing.
Can running back vision actually be trained, or is that something you kind of just have or don't have?
Honestly, I truly feel like it can be trained to an extent. Sometimes, like some backs make plays where it's like, okay, like that's just given talent, like you know what I'm saying. But I feel like it's trained to an extent. Like with playing a position, it takes time to really build vision. But I mean, not to brag nothing, but like I feel like I like had it, like I had it early running back vision. I mean, I've been playing a position for
Yeah,
so
because I
long,
feel like
so
that's one of those things that you kind of just there's no like drill really for to train it. You kind of just have to either
yeah,
get reps or
facts,
yeah.
facts, facts for sure.
And then what's something about the running back position that your average fan like misunderstands?
Um, I mean, yeah, like basically like not every carry is gonna be a big carry. I
Yeah.
mean, or you're not gonna go off every single game. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
very rare to do so, to just go off every game, especially if you have like 15 or lower carries. Like, that can be a game where you even have under 100. Like, and defenses scheme up pretty well. I mean, especially in college, like, especially like me being in different conferences and seeing like in the ACC, like if you're going off, they will like plan to shut you down for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, not every run is going to be a big run, but I mean, that's something I feel like fans don't really understand. It's like, oh, if you
Yeah.
get under 100-yard gain, they're like, oh, he sucks. Like, it's like, come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Do you ever set goals for yourself, or do you ever kind of look at the stats? Because I feel like now with social media and technology, like it's easy. Like you could even be checking your phone at halftime, just be like, "Oh, I need like 20 more to get to 100." Like, do you ever kind of think of the game like that, or you're kind of just like you're just
Nah. I mean, when I step on the field, it's just like laser focused to like the game. I don't really like, look at how many yards I have or anything. I feel like that would be kind of being selfish if I do that. Like especially in like halftime or something. Like, probably
I
like after
mean,
the game. Probably after the game for sure. Like
yeah.
I'll
I
look.
don't think it's I don't think it's selfish if you're just like, I want to go out there this year and get 1,000
Oh
yards.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
not
Setting goals
selfish.
setting goals before the year is like, yeah, for sure. Like I definitely set goals every year for myself, but like during the
Yeah,
games I just like like laser focus. And then like after I'll like check, okay, I had this amount of yards, cool, whatever. But
yeah.
yeah.
And then, is there any parts of your game in particular that you were really trying to like improve or prep for the draft?
I feel like okay, just something that I want to improve on in my game in general. It's probably like, and I kind of realized that this year, like down the field blocking. I know it's very specific, but like down the field, like say if we're running a jet sweep or like if I'm just lead blocking in any way, shape, or form, and like just keeping my leverage on the defender because like the defender can see the ball carrier behind me, but like I can't see the ball carrier behind me, so I kind of gotta get a good leverage to make sure I secure the block. I just want to take reps at that, like I say, probably
Yeah,
that's probably my like biggest thing. I want to like take reps at, I guess.
yeah, for sure. And then when the scouts and everything, when they turn on your film, what would you say is your best film you put on tape? Was it that Miami game earlier this year?
Probably the Baylor game, honestly. Baylor
Okay,
game I think it was week 2 or week 3, something like that.
yeah. NIL became such a big part of college football during your career. How do you felt like it impacted your experience overall?
What do you mean, like how do?
Do you feel like it kind of, made it more interesting with all the portal stuff and, teammates shuffling in and out? Like, do you feel like it
Yeah,
impacted?
yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I got to college when the portal stuff was just starting to like really get jumping and the
Yeah.
NIL stuff. I mean, so it's just crazy like over the years, like seeing so many people like going in and out of the team. And it was like, it's just crazy. And I know like college football didn't used to be like that. So I mean, just being a part of it when it just started to change was like kind of crazy. And I know even man, even in the future, within these next like I'm pretty sure within 5 to 7 years from now, it'll be a lot more different, like a lot more new stuff added. Like you know what I'm saying? So it is interesting for sure to be a part of that.
I keep a pregame song playlist for all the players that I interview. I would love to know what song, like one song, you would want to add to that list.
I mean, I'm an LA guy, so it'll probably be like a Blue Bucks Clan song. Probably Walking In by Blue Bucks Clan. It's a LA song for real. So
Okay, there we
that's
go.
something I mean, that's probably one of my older songs, like my freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah. When you get tackled at the line of scrimmage, do you
Yep.
already know immediately what went wrong?
Sometimes, yeah, but a lot of times just like unexpected. Like it's really half and half. I mean, it just depends honestly on the situation.
And then when you break a long run, do you usually see the defender chasing you, or are you just trying to like book it to the end zone, not really worry about who's
Uh,
behind? Because I feel
Low
like
key,
you always see guys like even in this photo I have right here in my background.
yeah,
Like, see that guy to the side, and you always see the guys look back. I always wonder, like,
yeah,
why do you look back? You just gotta just keep
yeah.
going forward,
Yeah, facts. I mean, in this situation, I actually remember this exact play. That's crazy. But like, I remember seeing him in like kind of my peripheral a little bit. Like, if it's that situation, I'll see him in my peripheral. But if it's somebody like, if I'm breaking a long run, hopefully, like, it depends on where I'm playing at. Like, hopefully, it's like a jumbotron right there, like to where I
Yeah.
can like kind of look up there and like peek where he at while I'm running. Like,
I feel like
I never
peripheral's
look back
different than
though.
just, like, a guy behind you, because a guy
Yeah,
behind you is
yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah. If he like behind me, I'll try to see if there's like a jumbotron. If there's like a jumbotron up there, I kind of like peek at it to see how close he is.
Yeah.
But I never want to look back though. Like that's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of this photo, how do you feel about just, like, the uniforms? 'Cause I feel like you played in some, like, really great uniforms between
Yeah.
UCLA and SMU. Like, what's your favorite uniform that you've played in?
All around in college in
All
general.
around. So I feel like this one
I
was pretty nice, the throwbacks are pretty
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Some of the
Okay.
SMU combos are pretty cool too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I mean, well, at UCLA, it was definitely the picture right there, the throwbacks. And actually, that year was the first year we bought him out, and it felt cool to like like all the fans seeing that again. Like, and we was like the first team to do that again. So that was cool. SMU, man, we had a lot of combos. I can't probably like I'll probably say the all black was pretty cool. We wore it against
Blackout's
Stanford.
always
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, moving on to some rapid fire here.
Okay.
Who's your favorite pregame artist? Do you have any artists that you kinda keep in your
Favorite
rotation?
pregame artist. Honestly, I don't really like listen to like I don't listen to like crazy like just crash out music all the time before the game. So it's another LA artist. His name Blast. I listen to him a lot. Really calm, like chill vibes. Sometimes I even catch myself listening to old school music. I just don't really try to be too crash out, like
So
But
you
yeah,
are
I'll
you
probably
just
say
kinda
Blast.
more like you just get locked in rather than, like, get you, like, juiced up before the game?
Yeah, I don't want to get like too like this, overly like just ready to crash. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I just don't. That's not me. Like I don't. Can't.
Alright. What's your favorite, like, cheat meal on an off day or in the off season?
Uh, it depends. It's probably in LA. It's this spot named Tams. They're pretty fire. It's a little like burger spot basically. I'll probably say Tams.
What's your favorite, like, movie or movie franchise?
Movie. Probably. I ain't gonna lie. My favorite movie probably Friday or like Friday or like Creed or like yeah, probably between those two.
What's your favorite video game?
Definitely Madden. I mean, like
Okay.
over the years, definitely, yeah, over the years, definitely Madden. Now I currently play 2K a lot. I mean, I've been playing 2K a lot, like my whole gaming career, but actually those two and NCAA, obviously, being a little biased, but yeah,
What's your favorite stadium you played in your college career?
that is a great question. I gotta think about that. Sheesh, a couple, man. I mean, obviously, like excluding the home stadium, my home stadiums that I
Sure,
played at,
yeah, makes it easier that
without,
way.
yeah, without including like home games. I mean, I played some good state. I played at Penn State,
Yeah.
LSU. Even my freshman year, we went up to Oregon. That was dope. last year we went to when I was at SMU, we just went to Clemson. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
I
some
don't
of those
know.
other ones I've heard are just amazing because they fill up
Yeah,
with all the people.
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, between those four, for sure, for sure.
Who's the hardest hitter you've ever faced?
Hardest hitter I've ever faced.
And is it Carson Schwezinger?
Boy, I mean, I didn't really get to go like like full-fledged contact against Carson like that, but yeah, he was a dog though. But I don't know who's the hardest like hitter I've like played that like I just
I know because you
consistent.
always hear these stories about guys that go up against people in college, and then it just ends up being like Fred Warner eventually, you know?
Yeah, facts. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't really know.
All right. Well, closing us off here, what is something football has taught you that you feel like the general public could apply to their everyday life?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I'll definitely say, not everything's gonna go as planned. Like, you gotta be like, it's probably gonna sound bad, but you probably gotta like sometimes you gotta be prepared for the worst to happen. Like, sometimes you're not gonna have a great game. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going with the plan that you're gonna do this, that, and the third, and then it just like doesn't happen. And then like adversity hits. But it's like, what do you do now? Do you sit there and harp on it or do you like move on? Like, you decide what you do next. You gotta either bounce back for it or you just gonna feel sorry for yourself. Cause nobody really gonna feel sorry for you. So you just got to move on. I mean, stuff happens all the time. And it just, like I said, it's on you to make that next move on how it's going to be.
Yeah, that's
For
a great
sure.
one. All right.
Sure.
That'll finish us for today.
Yes,
Appreciate you.
sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.